2009, we did a basin-wide culvert inventory with farmers and foresters and rural residential landowners. Looked at almost 300 culverts and assessed them for fish passage. We worked with the Forest Service Pacific Northwest Research Station and other scientists to help prioritize those sites. This project completed all of the high priority barriers in the South Fork Ferguson Creek drainage, and then just this year we wrapped up everything in Ferguson Creek. Ferguson Creek is one of two watersheds below Fern Ridge Dam near Veneta. Fern Ridge Dam blocks fish passage to the upper 2/3 of the Long Tom watershed, so the basins that are below it are somewhat connected to the Willamette River and migratory populations of native fish. So Ferguson Creek and Bear Creek to the south are really high priority areas for us for fish passage work. You can see that the previous culvert was perched about a little over a foot, about a foot and a quarter at the outlet, so it's a vertical barrier for native fish. Trout are our focal species up here, the native coastal cutthroat trout, and juveniles can only make about a 6-inch jump, so it was a barrier for juveniles and also for adults because there was no substrate in the pipe and it was rather long. I want to say the previous culvert was 60 or 70 feet long, so with no substrate in that, even if they could get into the pipe, it was a real challenge for even an adult cutthroat to get through. Because as you can see, it's a pretty significant project that we undertook here. I think it was about 1,200 or 1,500 yards of material that we had to move to get down to the previous pipe. So the way we set it up is that the grant paid for the materials and then the landowners did all the labor. So it was a very significant amount of labor, tens of thousands of dollars over the two sites. So and like Eric mentioned, it was totally above and beyond. These weren't maintenance issues at all. Both the pipes were in pretty good shape, so it was basically doing it because it was a big priority for the Watershed Council and our constituents.
So our road crew supervisor oversaw the project. We brought in all of our equipment to conduct operations, and then our equipment operators came with that package, and then did the physical labor on these projects. And then, as we heard, there's the equipment side of it, but then there's the manual labor side of it too, as to filling these pipes and getting stuff alongside there. There's a lot that goes into these projects, so it truly was a partnership.
I felt like they were kind of a little bit more of the brains of the operation, and we were maybe more of the back. But we learned a lot, and it was a good project.
Our normal process of looking at stream passage culverts in our operations, one of the things we noticed in the stream segment was a portion of the stream segment where there might be a blockage in the stream. While the culvert was actually in compliance and there was no maintenance required, this was an opportunity for us to enhance the wildlife presence on our property. As a small woodland owner, we remove timber from the property. That's a big part of our operations. However, the other side is providing for the resources for Oregonians. Clean water, reduction in sediment in our streams. This stream project allowed us to mimic the stream flow itself. We were able to install a large culvert, which basically mimicked the stream channel above and below the culvert, which provided great passage for native fish.
The Watershed Council worked with the two landowners, Justina Land and Timber and Whole Oaks Lumber, and then the Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board provided lottery funds for the materials for the project. The landowners provided the labor. Our engineer was River Design Group out of Corvallis. And then we, as part of the same grant from the Watershed Enhancement Board, we worked with a downstream small private landowner on some fish passage work as well. So, yeah, a real wide variety of partners were involved. So, we've hired local vendors for most of the work. So it was kind of had multiple benefits for not only the environment but for the operators and also for the local economy.
Christina and Whole Oaks have done a lot of things in the past to go beyond just the minimum type of requirements of the Forest Practices Act.
This culvert is larger than what forest practices would require. The landowners were willing to put in that extra effort to make this as beneficial of a project as possible.